Hi everyone, I'm Hoodie Angel Brandon, and welcome to another Abyssal Mythic Hero battle. Today we are taking down the combined forces of the Sage Gotoh and the Demon King Fomortiis. Although, while this is a dual mythic battle, apparently it is not classified as a bound hero battle like Veronica and Embla. Instead, it is just Fomortiis and Gotoh, which makes it look like Fomortiis is just Gotoh's title, which is, I don't think that's accurate. But we are going to earn this cute little gold heart charm. It actually looks rather adorable. And we will give that to someone and say that they have a heart of gold. And this map was actually fairly difficult. We have two very strong mythics charging at us from both sides. They have us in a pincer attack, and it's a little troublesome, and there are reinforcements. There are a lot of units that decide to buff their movement and move way faster than they look like they should be, and there's also some save skills running around. So even if you get past the very bulky mythics, there's still a lot of troublesome units to deal with. Although I do think I kind of handicapped myself with this map with my choice of units, but I wanted to bring specific ones, so that was kind of on me, but it might be easier with some better suited units. And speaking of, I guess we should take a quick look at our units. Leading the charge is, as usual, our dear Professor Byleth. However, this time he is in his sage outfit and ready to show off what he has learned in Gotoh's city of Kadain, where he was studying. He is running his mixed phase speed preempt build. We did swap out his life and death seal for null follow-up, not so much to guarantee doubles with him, but to prevent him from getting hit with follow-up attacks and getting worn down a little too fast, because that was a bit of an issue. But otherwise, he is just spamming his Sublime Heaven with Times Pulse and Speed Preempt. Attack Speed Finish gives him some extra damage and also helps keep him topped off. And of course, his Guy's Hourglass is doing a lot here as well, reducing Sublime Heaven to get it charged faster. And the dodge is actually fairly important on this map to prevent him from getting chipped down too fast. And his ability to drive allies is also super important as well. Next up, supporting our professor is our dear Seteth. He is here to support with his spear, and more importantly, he is running a Gale Force build with Heavy Blade 4 so that we can just repeatedly stab Gotoh, who is very bulky, and we just need to get a lot of damage on him, and Heavy Blade 4 will help with that. The other important part of his build here is Pulse Smoke, which will allow us to turn off Fomortiis' special so that Byleth can safely initiate on him. Otherwise, even with the dodge skill, Fomortiis will do too much damage and Byleth will get taken out on the counterattack. So that is actually very important here. And similarly, we have our dear son Morgul Borgul, who is also running Pulse Smoke for the same reason. We need to really slow him down and get his special charged back up to at least 2 so that Byleth can survive. So he also has to help with that. Other than that, though, he's just running his standard stat drain set, debuffing enemies with Grima's Truth, and stealing their power for himself so that he can become the almighty sun and slap people around with his buffs for attack speed ideal and bonus doubler. Finally is our Fell Tactician Robin, who is here to tank a lot of enemies with Spider Plush and Close Reversal and Lull Attack Speed, and he's also supporting a little with Double Drive Attack to help us get extra damage in, mostly for Seteth because, again, Gotoh is just so bulky that we're really going to need to stack a lot of attack to get through his high defense, especially because attacking on his res is pretty much out of the question. That is the main reason we had to bring Seteth. And the rest of our units are all mages because I thought it was fitting to bring a bunch of characters who are here to learn from this mighty sage, Gotoh. So with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and proceed to the battlefield. And Gotoh is pretty freaked out by the demon up there. Oh, there he is. Yeah, he's understandably a little concerned about that. But what I like to imagine is Gotoh being the big sage of Kadain is he was overseeing our units' studies and how they've grown. But for his final exam, the demon has shown up, and we must take the exam and also fight off this demon. It'll be a fun time, I'm sure. So, to start, we are going to have Seteth swap with our dear professor, move him a little closer so that he can move up and attack this sword fighter. Hit him with the Sublime Heaven, and take him down. And we are fine to leave him in range of these mages so that he can take them out next turn. He won't be able to totally one-shot them with speed preempt because they are fairly bulky. Even with this one having life and death 4, still have a good chunk of res and triangle advantage, and this one just has a lot of res. But we will still take them out. And we're also going to move Morgan up and Robin as well. Start moving everyone up to engage with Fomortiis, who has transformed and is being very spooky. Very fitting lightning also being spooky in the background. Green Mage attacks into Byleth. We speed preempt, get one shot off, and we do take a good chunk of damage. But here comes the Sublime Heaven and finishes him off. Heal up a little bit, and we are ready for the blue flyer, who will also attack. We will speed preempt once more, hit him with a Sublime Heaven, and they barely survive. Gonna hit us, but we will reduce some of that damage and hit him once more with the Sublime Heaven and heal up thanks to our finish skill. And now we can see that Fomortiis' bonfire is all charged. Gotoh's iceberg is as well. But the more pressing issue is Fomortiis, and we need to cool off that bonfire a little bit. So we're going to actually have Seteth swap in with our dear professor. And now that he is down here, we can have Morgan attack the Axe Knight. Double him, take him out. And now Byleth will pull him back out of the way of this red thief while standing in range to tank him as well. And we're just going to have Robin move up out of the way so that the thief has no choice but to attack Byleth. Lance Flyer attacks into Seteth, and we have successfully baited that Lance Flyer down. The red thief will attack into Byleth, and we will hit with Sublime Heaven. Barely missed that kill. These units are just very stat inflated, but it's fine. We survived the hit thanks to our dodge and take them out, heal up a little again. That finish skill is just really keeping Byleth topped off, which is very important. And now the Lance Flyer and Fomortiis are in range, so Seteth can attack the Lance Flyer, chop chop, and drop Pulse Smoke. And with Gale Force, we can move out of the way. And now we're going to move Morgan up here so that he's in range to debuff with his tome. And we're going to have our professor attack the Sword Knight. Sublime Heaven. Bam. 101 damage and heals up a little bit. And now we want to get him out of the way of all these melee units. So we're going to have Robin pull him out. And Lance Knight attacks into Robin. We can't take him out, but we can endure and do a good chunk of damage. Red Cav attacks into Robin and is similarly going to survive but take a good chunk of damage and charge up our special so that the Lance Dragon can attack into us and just receive a big bonfire that lets us clear them off the map. And now our turn comes again. Morgan has dropped his menace on all three of these guys up here, the Red Cavalier, Fomortiis, and the Green Fafnir. And we're going to have him move in and attack the Green Fafnir. And checkmate indeed, down they go. And he spreads his pulse smoke once again and reduces Fomortiis' cooldown as well. And now our professor can move in and attack. First hit with Sublime Heaven does 59, and now because that cooldown was reduced, we can actually survive that counterattack, and then that charges Sublime Heaven once more, and the second hit drops the Demon King. Back to the abyss with you. You are no match for our enlightened might. Funny enough, if we had brought Enlightened Byleth, that probably would have been a lot easier because he has Wind Sweep Null follow-up to deal with such things, but it is fine. Now we're going to have Robin move up and finish off the Red Cavalier. Trapped in our web, there is no escape. Here comes a bonfire, and bam, 49, lucky number, and a omen of our impending success. Finally, we want Byleth out of the way of this Lance Armor who has Assault Troop and will charge at him. So we're going to have Seteth swap up, like so, and he will be able to just tank this Lance Knight. Stab, stab. Couldn't quite finish him, but we did charge our Gale Force, which is much more important. And now we're going to have Morgan finish off the Lance Knight. There we go. Drop some Pulse Smoke on Gotoh. Doesn't really matter too much, but we're going to have Robin reposition our Professor so that he and Byleth are both over here closer to Gotoh so that they can support with Guide's Hourglass and our double drive attacks. And now Seteth can move in and attack. Do a good chunk, particularly boosted by Heavy Blade, and trigger the Gale Force so that we can attack once again. And since these guys moved, we are also getting some buffs thanks to Blade Session, which is contributing to our damage. And Gotoh is healing with his Brilliant Starlight, but it's not quite enough because now our Professor can move in and prove what he has learned while studying in Kadain to Gotoh and hit him with a mighty Sublime Heaven that is enough to drop this mighty Sage. And now all that's left is this last blue Fafnir, and we're just going to have Professor Byleth finish him off. 49 times 2, boosted by Sublime Heaven. There is no escape. Bam. One-shotted. And there we go. Well done, team. We have successfully passed our trial and earned the Heart of Gold. Overall, they did a really good job. I was pleasantly surprised. Everyone really actually contributed on that map. Some of the more recent maps we've had times where units just haven't been doing a whole lot, but that time everyone really helped. Robin helped support and also tanked some stuff. Morgan was debuffing and blowing up units. Seteth also took out units and was key in dropping Gotoh down low enough for Byleth to get the kill. And of course our Professor was blowing up a lot of things as well. So overall, very pleased with everyone's performance this time around. And again, it definitely could have been easier if I'd brought something like, I don't know, all 3 Byleths. They would have probably been very good at cleaning up this map, but it was fun to bring a bit of a more unusual team comp, and had fun with it. So anyway, thank you guys as always so much for watching, joining me and my angel army on another Abyssal adventure. Emphasis on the Abyss this time around with the Demon King. And until next time, this is Hoodie Angel Brandon and the Angel Army signing out.